Hello everybody, happy Thursday. Come on in, say hello. If you're new to my page, make sure to say hello and tell me where you're from. I am Dawn. This is Wreath Decor by Dawn. If you are new to my page, tonight we are going to do a grapevine. I have an 18-inch grapevine here. I've tried to get it cleaned up. There's still stuff falling off of it, but I've tried to get it cleaned up as much as I can, but stuff is going to continue to fall out of it, so there's nothing I can do about that right now. So part of this is from my Deco Exchange monthly subscription box. So I'm using some of that and combining it with some other stuff that I have to do this grapevine tonight. So this is what came with the subscription box. This high sign came with the box. These pink florals, there are these two here, and then this bush here. This one has like a bunch of, it looks like fishing line to me, just all over it. Kind of gives it that little wispy feel, and then these twigs, and then the little flowers. So that came with the kit, and then the ribbons. And the ribbons that we have are these right here. Now it did come with a roll of mesh, and that's the mesh that I used last week in my floral spring wreath that we did on the pine base. But these here, this is I want to say 5/8, excuse me. 5/8 white lace. This is wired. This one is like a mesh ribbon. This is also 5/8, I believe. It doesn't say, but it looks like it's the same size. So this one, if you look at it, it's kind of stretchy. There is no wire in it. It doesn't, stay stretched out. It pops back to its original shape. So that came with the kit. And then you've got these 2.5-inch solid yellow, this floral yellow and pink. It has the pinks, the yellows, and the greens in it. This 1.5-inch pink with the lace edging, and then this greenery leaves. It's got leaves on it. This green 1.5. So all of that is what came with the monthly subscription box. So if you're interested in any of the subscription boxes, I get them every month. I've been getting them for well over a year now. I have never been disappointed in one of them. I do have an affiliate link listed in the description. You can just go click on that. It'll take you to my link tree, and that has everything. All my affiliates are listed there. So you can click on that and find everything really easily. But if you're interested in signing up for the box, it's through Deco Exchange. It's $60 a month plus tax. That includes your shipping. So whatever your tax is in your area, that's what it'll be. The rest of this that I'm adding in, now this came from this month's box. The other came from February's box. March's box, we got the different colored ficus leaves. So I'm going to use some of that in this. And then I'm going to be using some of my own yellows to pop in there with it, because the ribbon has got the yellow flowers and that in it too. So it seems like I'm doing a lot of pink and yellow this month. So if y'all wouldn't mind sharing this for me, I'd really appreciate that. Let your friends know we're on. Maybe they'd like to come watch with us. All right, so first things first, I'm going to put this on so that I can navigate where I want my greenery and my flowers to go. All right, so we're going to do that first. So I already had it. I stapled in some pipe cleaners. I use brown because they go well with the grapevine and it's easy to hide them. I'm going to use my weaving needle. You'll find those in my shop as well. Again, all those links are up there in the comment or in the description. We carry other goodies in our shop as well. I carry glitter. I've got some ribbon, signs, ribbon kits. We carry the pine 24-inch pine wreath bases. Now we have the round 24-inch, and we have the teardrop 24-inch. So if you're looking for any of those, you'll find them in my shop. And that link is down in the bottom, the pinned comment. Hey, hello, hello. Thank y'all so much for joining me. I appreciate y'all being here. We are doing a grapevine tonight. I am putting my sign on real quick so that I can figure out where I want my flowers and everything to go. So I like to put my sign on and then do my florals so that it just gives me an idea of how far I want to go on a grapevine. Because sometimes you can tend to go a little further than what you had planned. How am I attaching the sign? I'm sorry, I already put it on there. I'd take it off and show you. All I did, it's a pretty thick sign, as you can see. I'll zoom in so you can see it. It's more than 1/4 of an inch, but I did put a piece of cardboard on the back just in case, because I'm paranoid that way. But I put a small piece of cardboard on the back of the sign, and then I stapled pipe cleaners on there. I used brown pipe cleaners because I can hide those good with the grapevine. So I did it. I put one up here on the back side, and then one on the lower part of the H over here. I put one on the back of there to connect it. So there's one, and here's the other one. And that's going to hold it on there. It's not going anywhere. So I'm going to put those away. I'm going to tuck them down for now. I will go back after and tuck them all in and cut them. So again, if you just joined me, I'm using this. The part of this came from my Deco Exchange monthly subscription box. So that's what we're using tonight. And part of it was stuff I already had. All right, so this is the Sage Green Ficus. I don't know if y'all have seen the new colors. You know, we used to have just the regular green and the variegated. I love the variegated, but these new colors are really pretty. If you haven't seen them, the only person that I know that carries all the colors so far is Craft Outlet, so check them out. They sell them in packs of 12, and they're not expensive at all. So you can get a 12-pack of these for less than 10 bucks, I think it is, or $11. I honestly couldn't tell you, but they do have all the colors. They have different colors now, so I really like them. In our box this month, we got this sage green color and a beige color. So all I'm doing is cutting my ficus down. The ficus has 3 stems. It has one that comes off of each side. So I'm just cutting the ones off of the side because I want this, and then I'm going to use these for fillers. Hello, hello. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome. Anytime you have a question, just ask. If I don't see it, I will get back to it. And if I don't get back to it on the live, I will get to it afterwards. All right, let me figure out what I'm doing here. I'm going to turn this around. I know it's hard. I'm going to spread this open so you guys can see better. I don't want to cut everything off. I'll zoom in if you want me to zoom in. You guys are pretty close right now. It's easier for me to work on a grapevine like this for 2 reasons. One, I don't have anywhere to put a easel up for you guys to see it, and it's hard for me to work from behind. I would have to find a way to bring my camera around this way and work from here. And in a small room, that's just not possible right now. If I ever figure it out, believe me, I will do it because it would make things so much easier for both of us. All right, so I'm taking one of the long pieces, and I'm going to bend it. I want it to go with the curve of my grapevine. And I can curve it more once I get it on there, but just to give it a start. So I want this to go about here. Yeah. So I'm going to go about right here. So that comes over just above my letters. And then I'm going to bend this one the opposite direction. And I'm going to come up. Let's see if I can get this to go under here or not. I don't want to go too far into my grapevine because I don't want this coming out the other side. So you want to be aware when you're doing your grapevine, you don't want anything poking out the back because then you're just going to have to cover it up so that you can keep it nice and neat. Just go in, go straight in, and then go at an angle and try to go into those weaves of the grapevine, and it'll make things a lot simpler for you. Sorry, my eye is spasming right now, so I'm having a moment I can't see. I'm having these issues with my eyes, and they are spasming a whole lot lately, so it's doing it right now, of course. All right, and then these pieces, I'm going to glue these in just a second, but I just want to show you. These I'm going to use as fillers. So I want to make sure to come out here so that once I put my bow on here, this over here on the side, I'll put it this way so you can see, there's a gap. That's where my bow's going to go, but I also want my greenery coming back. So I want that to be behind my bow. So I'm going to put some of that right there. And if I have to, I can cut this down a little bit more. I want to make sure that I have something on the inside, but then I'm going to use some over here. I'll probably cut this piece off because it'll be in the way. But I also want this to come out and be a little fuller here too. So I have 4 pieces, and that's what I'm going to do with those. So I'm going to put those 2 together and that one together. So let me glue these in real quick. If I can get them back out now. Alright. So I've got my hot glue going over here. I'm just going to put it in there. I use a glue pot. You can use a glue gun. You can actually be, you know, if you have a glue gun, put your stems in and then take your glue gun and just give it a shot of glue while it's already on here, and that'll make it easier. Alright, so we're going in, making sure I'm not coming out the other side. There we go. Now if you wanted to, you could zip tie this down and it'll keep it where you want it in that place. I have a twig coming off of here. But that's going to look fine right there. Making sure I'm going back in the same spot. I want to leave a little gap so that when I put my bow on there, there we go. And then this one I might zip tie down because it's going over these 2 bands that are holding the grapevine together. So I might just zip tie it to that one just so it's not sticking so far up. But I'll leave it for now. We'll see how it goes. I don't think I put that back in the right place, but it happens. There we go. There we go. All right. Now I'm going to take this one. I'm going to cut these off of here. We'll use these as fillers. So this is just 2 stems of this ficus. And I'm going to go right over here underneath where I just put that one in, and I'm pushing my stem so that it's going towards the center. It's not poking out, but it's just going in that center. So this is making this a little bit fuller. See that right there? I almost didn't go live tonight because I wasn't feeling that great this afternoon. I don't need that stem that long, so we're going to cut it off. There we go. Just like that. Gives it some more fullness right there. We're going to do the same thing at the top. Hey Michelle, how are you? This one I think I want right here. Might go right there. Yeah, right here. I have to hold my finger there so I can find it. I have a bad habit of putting things in to see where I want it, and then when I pull it out I forget where it was, and I end up putting it in a totally different place. Alright, now I want to fill in the outside right here. I'm going to cut these off again. Alright, so we're going to go on this side, right here. And I'm just trying to get this in between. This is a pretty tightly woven grapevine. I want those right there. So this is kind of sticking out. And then I'm going to do one on the inside so that when our bow goes in, I don't need it that long. When our bow goes in, it's going to be up underneath our bow, and it's going to look like it's, you know, completed. You're not going to have a gap. All right, and then this one we're going to do the same thing. Go on this side. I'm weaving it in so that it catches all them branches. There. So there we go. I know it doesn't look pretty right now, but we'll get it there. I promise. All right, so we got that done. Now these pieces I can take and I can use these in my bow, or I can stick them in and use them as fillers. So I've got, I think, 4 pieces of those left. So it doesn't take a whole lot. 2 pieces of the ficus. You can see all the mess this is leaving. So we'll keep it as clean as we can as we go. All right. I want these 2, I think, right here first. So again, these came from the Deco Exchange box, subscription box that I get. So I don't know if they carry these supplies individually. To be honest with you, you'd have to check. But this is, they don't have names on them either. Let's see, this one can be broken up into several pieces. So I want to do that. So let me find all my pieces here. Hey Terry, how are you? Trying to get, there we go. This one all goes together. So this is all one. That's all one. And then we have this one. So we're just breaking them up into 3s. And we're cutting that big old stem off. And now we're going to open these up. We're going to spread everything out. Don't want everything all clumped together. It's got this wispy things going on here. I'm doing good. Doing good. Alright, that one. I'm only cutting the one right now because if we don't need the other one, then I won't have to tear it apart. But you want to make sure to move things around, open them up, give them some life so that everything is not sitting flat on your wreath. Right, that one, and then we'll do this one. Get all this paper off of here. So how's everyone doing tonight? Are y'all doing good? If this is your first time watching, welcome. I thank you for being here. If you're new, say hello. We'd like to give you a nice warm welcome. Please follow my page. I'm also on all the other social medias. You'll find all my links by going in the description and clicking on my link tree. And I also sell some supplies in my shop if you're a wreath maker and you're looking for anything. I sell everything from glitter to wreath bases right now. There we go. Here. All right, so we're going to take this one. They've got these little wispy things on them too. We'll just wrap them around. I've got a dowel over here we might use to give them some curl, but you can use your finger. I don't know. So I'm giving it a bend because I don't want it sitting flat. I'm going to put some glue on here. And we're going to try and get it in here between all these thick grapevines. There we go. No, it does not need to be up that high. There we go. So there's that one. Another one down here. So whatever I do at the top, I want to mimic it down at the bottom or below it. Once I put these 2 on, I might go ahead and make my bow. I don't know. We'll see. I hadn't really thought too much about what kind of bow I wanted to do tonight, so. All right, get this in here. I will say this grapevine's pretty good. It's really thick. I want all these spread out a little bit. Stuff laying down and some stuff sticking up. Hello, everybody. All right, so we've got those two there. May not need that other one, I don't know. I might cut it or use it for a filler. Thank you all so much for joining me tonight. I am trying to think if I want to use this on the side or if I want to come up here and use it and bring this out a little further. Because if I do that, I can take one off of here and put it up at the top to match. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. So let me go ahead and glue this one in before I turn it around. Otherwise I'll forget I didn't glue this one. Doesn't need to be that long. If any of you are wreath makers and you haven't already, I have a free private group that you can join to show off all of your work. And you can sell your stuff and promote yourself in our group. We would love to have you. You'll find the link for that in the description as well. If you just click on my link tree, you'll see my free group in there, listed in there, and it'll take you right to it, and you can join that. If you're a designer and have a business, we let you promote yourself. We have buyers and creators in there, so we have both. All right, we're going to do this one a little bit closer. There we go. I like that. How's that? Can you see? I'm trying to make it so that you can see it. All right, let's go ahead and make a bow real quick. I'm going to put this over here. So in my shop, we carry the 24-inch teardrop swags. This is one of them. They're really pretty. It's the kind of darker green. It has the ties or the tines that are not they're not real long, so it makes for a real pretty teardrop swag. So if anyone's looking for the teardrop bases, I know a lot of people have been asking about them. We carry them in our shop now at wreathdecorbydawn.com, or just click on the link in the pinned comment and it'll take you right to it. All right, bow time. All right, we're using all of them except for this green. I don't want to use this one, but I was thinking I might use some of this. Not positive, but we're gonna see. I really liked it in the, it wasn't in last week's bow, it was one before that, but I really liked that. So this is that Windowpane, and I love it in the colors. Used to be that it only came in the jute color, but now they've got them in red and cream colors and this green and black, and they're really pretty. Hey Nancy, how are you? We'll put the rest of them in a little bit. All right, so we're not doing really long tails, so I'm gonna do about 14, I guess. Yeah, about 14 inches. They're about, I don't know. And you don't really have to twist this, but I do just because it's habit. So I'm going to do 6-inch loop. When you follow a routine or a pattern, it just tends to come out better that way. All right, so I'm not doing 2 tails going down. I'm going to do 1 tail down and 1 tail up. So this one will be a little bit shorter, but I'm going to do like this. And I wish I could turn my bow maker around and do it for you backwards, but I don't have that talent, guys, sorry. But I will zoom in so that you can see me make the bow. I think I'm going to put the solid yellow first because I want this one to show. So I don't want to hide it behind all the 2.5 inch. So I think I'm going to do my yellow first. And I'm going to do this one about the same. And we're going to do a 5.5 inch loop with this one. What'd y'all have for dinner tonight? Anybody have anything good? I didn't eat yet. Wasn't in the mood to eat earlier, so I told my mom just make whatever she wanted. There was plenty of leftovers in there from this week. All right, so that's about 5.5 inches there. Whoops, I don't want to do that. I'm done. That's it. Do I want to do 2 or 1? We'll just keep it the way we're doing it. All right, so I want to dovetail this one. I don't want to dovetail that window pane because that'll just, it won't look good. Yeah, it won't look good. All right, now we're going to put in our floral. And this one, I am going to do 2 loops on each side with this. Made pizza from scratch. Oh, that sounds good. I should have come to your house. I love pizza. Pizza, pizza. All right, so now we're going to do 5-inch loops with this, and we're going to make 2 loops on each side. Because this is that floral print, and I want that to stand out. Thank you so much, Susan, for the stars. I appreciate that. And anyone who sends me stars, just so you know, that money doesn't come to me. It goes to charity. I give that to a different organization every year. This year, we stuck with, I say we do a different one every year, but this year we stuck with the same. We're doing for autism. So thank you very much for that. That's a nice donation. Making sourdough bread. Oh, love sourdough bread. This is like a, it's not like our regular canvas ribbon. It's more of a heavy linen, it feels like. I don't know how else you would describe it. Alright, so that one's coming up here as well. We're going to spread these out. Alright, now I want to go in with the green. And this is got green, like green leaves, a leaf pattern on it. Really pretty. And we are going to do, we'll just do 1 loop with this. I think we'll leave the other one. I go down a 1/2 inch on each ribbon, so. This one, I believe, is a 4.5. And with my husband gone, it seems like I'm always working. So this one is a pink 1.5 lace edge, really pretty. Hey Roxana, how are you? Alright, so this one we're going to do the same. We'll do a one loop. I was going to say a 1-inch loop. One loop. This one's about 4 inches. And I might want to do, let me see. Do I want to do 2 loops? Let's see. Let's see what it'll look like. I don't know if I want to do it or not, but maybe I will. We'll leave it. If I don't like it, I can always change it. Does anybody else do that? Redo their bows afterwards? I'm going to use a white zip tie to hold the bow together, and then I'm going to use a black zip tie to attach it to my grapevine. Just because the black hides better in the grapevine. So I'm using an 11-inch zip tie if anybody's interested. I'm not going to get it too tight. I want it tight enough to hold everything together. I'm going to pull this off a couple of times, right? Yeah. I think we all do it. We all remake those bows because they just don't look right or whatever. I know Susan does it. Alright. We're going to push this over into where that little divot is that was left by those pegs. And then we're going to take our other zip tie and go up underneath. So I'm going to smash this down just a little bit so I can get that zip tie under there. I think the most I've remade one bow is probably 3, maybe 4 times. Just because it just wasn't working right for me. This may be one of them, I don't know. Alright, now we want to get all of our loops and ribbons where we want them. Make sure nothing's kinked. Fluff out our bow. Alright, there we go. Pull that tight. See, I don't like the way it's sitting right now. Looks like everything just went forward on me. It's because I didn't hold it all in place right. But that's alright. We're going to leave it the way it is, and I can always take it off and put another zip tie on it afterwards. And that'll fix that problem. Looks like it all went forward on me. But we'll see when we put it on there. So I'm going to use my zip tie tool, give it a couple clicks, and that'll tighten that zip tie, and then I'll cut it off. Then we're left with our 2 that holds this bow on the grapevine. Let me open this back up. Let's get our grapevine. There's our grapevine if y'all just joined. Go this way a little bit. There you go. So we have some of our florals and our greenery on there, and now we're going to put our bow on and finish building around it. So I'm going to take my zip tie and I'm going to weave it through. I don't want it to go all the way to the back. It doesn't have to go all the way through to the back. I just want to weave it through the grapevine to where I can see. There it is, coming out. And then it doesn't show behind, and you don't have to worry about covering it up later. This end of my grapevine, or my zip tie, is in between my bow here, my loops. Thank you. All right, so we're going to pull this and make sure that that locking tab stays up underneath the bow, and then we don't have to worry about that showing either. It's just less stuff you got to hide later, or, you know, fix later on. All right, now we want to get all this in place. Yeah, that bow's going to have to be fixed. But I'll do that later. I'm not going to do it now, because that would require me to take it apart. All right, so those tails we will dovetail later. So there's the bow. I gotta figure out which direction I'm supposed to go here. I've got several different yellows over here. I originally was going to use some yellow flowers, but I think I kind of like using these little filler ones better. I just can't decide which ones I want to use. So we'll see which one looks better. But I'm not going to use those yellow flowers. All right, so we still have these two pieces left. You don't have to use them, but we might as well. Don't really care for these little foam balls, but they seem to come on everything nowadays. But most of them end up on my floor, not in my projects. All right, I'm going to take this one, and I want to put this one coming out on the side. Right here, I think. Let me see if I can find a good spot to get in the grapevine. Like I said, this one's really tight, so I got to find a spot and see if I can get in that grapevine. All right, there's a spot right there. Let me get some glue on it before I lose it. Don't need that much glue, come on. All right, let's see if I can do this without getting glue all over me. If you want to get notified when I go live, you can join my email list. That is also in my link tree. Click on the email and subscribe to that, and you will get an email every week when I go live. This one's going to go up here. I'm going to see if I can put my scissors in first. Maybe that'll help. Of course, this side may not be as dense. Oops, got it backwards. Yeah, see, this side isn't as bad. It's just that one side there. Take my scissors, poke it in there, and twist. That gives me an opening. I'm going to go right in here. At an angle. There we go. Pull this back out. All the glue went on that time. I'll get that off later. Okay, I think that's going to work. I gotta cut my zip tie off. All right, let's go ahead and put some of these in. Cut the tag off. So you always want to take the opportunity to separate these if you can, because you get a lot of bang for your buck here when you can separate them and use them in multiple places. So we're just going to pull these apart. There's a whole lot of stems. They're all taped together. So we're just going to break that tape. So you don't have to use all of them. But I like the little wispiness of it. They all have, like I said before, They all have like this fishing line coming off of the ends of it. And it's a pink toned fishing line, it looks like. I'm just going to call it fishing line. Alright, so I want to poke some of these in and just give it a whole nother dimension here. So we don't need the stems this long. So I'm going to cut them down. Put a dab of glue on it. Now these are thinner wires, so it'll go through there pretty good. But I have an opening right here, so I want to fill this. Remember, go in a little straight down and then go at an angle. That way you're not going to go through to the back. And I have not yet, so knock on wood. Let's pull this one over here a little bit. So I want to try and stay within my 24-inch. This is an 18-inch grapevine, but I want to stay within a 24-inch so I can get this in a box. You always got to remember, if you ship, keep in mind what your box dimensions are. Because if you go too big, you're going to have to get a bigger box and it's going to cost you more to ship. And we all know that shipping is outrageous right now, so we don't want to make it any more expensive than it already is. So keep that in mind when you're designing your stuff, that you have to, if you ship, you have to keep in mind what size your box and what it's going to fit in. Alright, now that I did one on this side, I'm going to go on the inside and I'm going to do another one. And again, I'm cutting these down because I don't need them that long because they'll just go right through the whole grapevine base. I'm just putting some glue on here. I'm going to spread these leaves out and I'm going to go right in where I see an opening, go straight down and then at an angle. Alright, there we go. Let me pull this one over here. This flower is tucked under. I want it up. There we go. So there, that one's on this side now. We can move these leaves back over there. So there's that one. Very pretty. Wispy, wispy, wispy. I'm going to do a couple on the side. This I'm going to have to cut down probably quite a bit. I think I'm going to cut it off right here. There's just this little twig. We'll find somewhere to put that. Straighten this out a little bit. Put some glue on that. And then we're going to go in right here under our bow. Maybe. We'll see. It's really tight right here underneath the bow area, so I may not be able to get that in without help from my scissors or something. Let me see if I can get it to go in right here. It does not. It does not want to go in there, so what I'll do is I will wait and do that after. I'm not going to sit here and fight with it, make y'all watch. So I will set this one to the side. We'll put that one in later. Oh, I was going to use my white ribbon too and I forgot. See, I'm going to have to take that bow apart anyway. Alright, now I have a hole right here I'm going to fill in with some of this. And I have a light pink and a dark pink. Oh, they're both the same really. Cut this one down. Thank you all so much for joining me tonight. I really appreciate y'all being here, sharing my live, hanging out with me. Alright, we want this one to go this way. Just bending the stem in the direction I want it to go. Maybe if I give it a little loop at the end, it'll be easier to get it in there. If not, I have a pick machine over here that I can drag out and put a pick on the end of it to help me get it in there. But nope, this one's going to go in fine. Right there. Alright, move these leaves back. I'm going to put another one right here. couple minutes and we will be done. Time goes so fast when you're doing a live. Doesn't feel like I've been on here all that long, but it's already been an hour. Let's see if I can get this in a little bit further. Where are you? Right there. I want this one over here. Might have to wire that one down so it stays. There we go, that's better. And then I think I want one right here. Well, that's the one I was going to do. That won't go in, so we'll wait on that one. I think I want this one right here. Right behind this. I'm just giving it a little bend at the end to make it go in there a little easier. There we go. All right, we'll do one more right here. These ones are a little bit smaller, so that'll help. This one's going up under here. There we go. That works. And then I still have one more I want to put underneath the bow over here on the side, but it's not letting me, so we'll fix that. And then we're going to take these last three. And I'm going to put them on the inside. I'm going to do them above the greenery, maybe, if it'll let me. There we go, get that in there. That's, you know what, there's two things you can do, Lizzie. If the stem is really thin and skinny, kind of like this one bends really easily. So that's why I'm folding it at the end, and it gives it more stability. So here's what I'm doing with it. I'm cutting it down, and then now I have this much here. Let me zoom in for you. So I have this much here, and it's very flimsy and thin, and I'm folding it and giving it a loop so that it's giving me more for it to hold on to when I put it in the grapevine. And then that gives it a little bit of stability there. The other thing you can do is use a pick machine. If you don't have a pick machine, you don't want to, you know, and if you don't do a lot of florals, then hey beautiful, then you probably don't want to invest in one of those until you do more florals, because they are rather expensive. I happened to get mine on from somebody who was getting out of wreath making and bought it from her. So I didn't have to pay full price for mine, thankfully. So you can look on Marketplace. That's a good place to look for stuff like that. Actually, no, I did get mine on Marketplace. It was my stem cutter I got from the girl that was going out of business. Get that straight. All right. And then the other thing is greening pins. And I don't have any out here, but they're the little wooden picks. And they have a thin wire attached to them. And you can take that wire and wrap it around your stem really tight. And then that greening pin that they call it would be your stem, and make your stem thicker and easier to use. Yes, eBay as well is another good place to check. I wish I had some of those greening pins out. I just bought a whole mess of them too, and I don't know where I put them. I think they're in the other room. But those are really good to use if you don't have a pick machine. Pick machines can be very finicky too. You're going to have a love-hate relationship with those, because sometimes they'll work really good, and other times they just don't want to. They'll fight you every time. All right, so this is going up under my bow. So now we filled in the center. So we have that all, this one needs to be, I think I need to get my dowel out and whip that around. We're just going to give it a curve. There we go. We'll just give it a little curve for now. I'll fix it later. All right, we've got one more. Throw it. That's not the one I was going to use over here, so I want to make sure that's not that one. I'll save it. We'll save it. All right, so there we go. A lot of wispiness going on here. Let me open this back up. See that? Very pretty. And very minimal supplies, guys. Very minimal. We used 2 ficus leaves. I've still got my yellow fillers I want to put in, and my pink flowers. I didn't put my pink flowers in. So these are Ranunculus. Let me cut this down a little tiny bit. Not too much, because I want it to stand up. So I'm going to take this one. I only know what this one is because it's from Michael's and they had a tag on it that told me. Otherwise, I wouldn't have any idea what flower it is. If it's not a rose or a carnation, I have no idea what they are. And this does not want to go in there either. Hey, LaDonna. There we go. Just got to weave it in or wiggle it in, one of the two. There, like that. And my nose is itching. What does that mean? There. See how that is? See how that looks right there? Very pretty. So I put that one at the top. We're going to put this one at the bottom. And my ribbons are going to be cut, so we'll fix that so that they're not covering up my pretty flowers. Alright. We're going to put this one in here. There we go. So I'm not putting them in too far because I want them to stand up. And then we've got these. Now you can take a steamer, you know, a clothing steamer, and put it, you know, put it on your flowers and it'll open them back up if they're smushed. You can do it either on your wreath or after or before, either one. That one needs to be fixed too. So that'll help your flowers to open up and look pretty. I want this one to go up on here. You got a bush cutter from Craft Outlet, not cheap, but with your arm and wrist issues, yeah, you needed it, yeah. Yeah, those are not cheap either. As a matter of fact, I saw them at Sims when I was there, and like I said, I got mine from somebody who was getting out of the wreath making business, so I didn't have to pay as much. But those and stem and pick machines are not cheap. But if you do a lot of florals, they are worth it in the long run. But just be aware that they're not cheap. It's an investment. Alright, I'm going to do this one on the outside right here. Alright, then we're going to put in the yellow ones and then we'll be done. There, that looks good there. And I might come down here and put another one. I've got a couple left, so I might put another one there, and maybe on the inside. But I'm going to wait on that because I want to get these yellow ones in. So now I've got 2 different ones I was going to use. I've got this filler flower here. It's got some white on it. These are, I think, forget-me-nots. No, this is not. It's not forget-me-not. This is just a bush, a filler bush. I'm going to drop it in the glue now and rip my tag off of it. Anyway, we'll tape it back on there. And then I also have these little ones. So I think I'm going to go with this. Alright, so it's got white and yellow on it. And I'm not going to use a lot of it. There are probably, I'll tell you, there are 12 stems on here. So we're probably going to use half. Alright, so I just want the pops of yellow to come out. We probably don't need it, but we're going to do it anyway. And these are pushers. Pushers mean that they all push up All the greenery in that pushes up. Cut this off, make it a little bit shorter. Now I just want to look for holes right there. So we got that in between our two pink flowers, and now you can push those down if you don't want them that high. I pushed them up probably a little too high. So we put one there. Where else do we need one? See, now this is where an easel comes in really handy if you're able to use one. Can't even see that yellow. There we go. Little pops of it, little pops. We won't cut this one as short. All right, let me go right down in here. And then we will be done. Bend it forward so that you can see it. I want to thank y'all for hanging out with me tonight. Again, if you want to join my email list and get notified whenever I go live, go to the description and find my Linktree link. Click on that and it'll take you to all of my information, all of my social media, group, my shop, my affiliates, all of it. You will find everything and anything you need there. And check out my shop if you are a wreath maker, because I do sell supplies. We just added grapevine, or not grapevines, I'm sorry, evergreen wreath bases, the pine bases. I just added the 24-inch and the 24-inch teardrop swag too. And I know a lot of people were looking for those after the holidays because Hobby Lobby only carries them at Christmas time. So if you have trouble finding them, I have them. Head on over to my shop. Matter of fact, I have to go and get more already. Other than over here on the side of my bow, which is where all of this that's left is going to go, and then I'm going to decorate my bow once I fix that. I think we're done. So, there we go. What do you think? Put it this way, or go this way, that way, right there. Isn't that pretty? Alright, so as usual, this is already listed in my shop. It just has a picture of a Facebook sign that says Made on Facebook Live. So if you are interested, you'll find all the information there. And if you missed the live, you can go back and watch the replay, and it will be edited and put on YouTube this weekend. Alright, that's going to be it for me tonight, guys. I want to say thank you so much for hanging out with me. I do appreciate y'all being here and showing me your kindness. Thank you for the stars that were sent tonight. I appreciate that. That'll go for a good cause. We'll give that to the Autism Foundation at the end of the year. And I will see you all hopefully next week, if not before. All right, guys, you all have a wonderful evening. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, or your week, and then your weekend. And be kind to one another, and be kind to yourselves. And I will see you next week. Bye.